All right, class, for number 3, we're going to solve each of these by factoring. I'm going to do B and C, and I'm going to leave you A. A is pretty simple. B and C have a little bit of a trick to them, so I'm going to show you those. On B right here, the first thing I notice here, and when you're solving, it's a great thing to notice, is that these are all divisible by 9. Like I can immediately divide all these by 9, divide both sides by 9, and I get x squared plus x minus 1 equals 1. All right. And the next step is I'm going to subtract this 1 over. I need to get everything to one side. Minus 1 to both sides. That'll cancel. And I get x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. All right. So I can do the x method here. What two numbers multiply and give me -2, and they add and give me 1. So it'd be 2 times 1, right? Which one needs to be negative? The 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and 2 times -1 is -2. So it'll be x plus 2, x minus 1 equals 0. So my two answers are x plus 2 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0. So x equals -2, and x equals +1 would be my answers for that one. All right, this next one, C, there's a couple of ways to get it on C. The first one is you could do difference of squares. And let me show you what I mean by that. If you remember the difference of squares formula, this one's pretty easy. And the difference of squares formula is a squared minus b squared equals a plus b, a minus b. So that is the difference of squares. All right. So that would be, if I were to square root this, I would get 4x squared, right? Because 4 squared is 16, and then x squared is x squared, 16x squared. 4x squared minus 9 squared, right? So my answer would be 4x plus 9, 4x minus 9, like that. All right. Now, I could do it with just straight up factoring. Well, let's go ahead and solve it first. 4x plus 9 equals 0. So what do I get? Minus 9 minus 9. 4x equals -9. Then divide by 4 on both sides. So x is -9 over 4. That's one of them. And then over here, 4x minus 9 equals 0. So we'll plus 9 to both sides, plus 9. 4x equals 9. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals +9 over 4. And those are my two answers. But I also wanted to show you, if you had to just if you forget the difference of squares rule, you could just factor it, right? So you have 16x squared, and there is no b term, and there is a c term minus 81. So you have an a and a c. So if you were going to factor it, what would you get here? You get a times c is 16 times -81. So you're going to end up with big numbers here, but you have a calculator. 16 times 81 is 1296, -1296. And if I do the square root of 1296, I'll notice it's 36 in a calculator. So it would be 36 and -36. 36 times -36 is -1296. And because they got to add to 0, right? Because there is no b term. So the b would be 0. So it'd be 36 and -36. So it would be 16x squared plus 36x minus 36x minus 81. And let's see what comes out of both of these. They both divide by 4. Let's see, and that divides by 4x, actually 4x. So it's 4x And that is 4x, 36 over 4 is 9, like that, right? And then what did both of these divide by? They both divide by 9. And I'm going to make it negative 9, because that way I'll get negative 36 over negative 9 is positive 4. So it's going to be minus 9, and it'd be positive 4x. Negative 81 over negative 9 is positive 9. And so my two answers are 4x minus 9, 4x plus 9. And see, you got the same thing as up here. But that would not be a fun way to do it. You'd rather just do the difference of squares on that one. And so that is number 3 on our review.